time is indeed running out to get exposure for this bull cycle because the market looks absolutely set to explode, where Bitcoin is now pushing up towards new highs and could be making new all-time highs probably even before the end of this week. So if you have a look over here at the banter bubbles, well, of course you can see a sea of green on the daily as well as the hourly starting to pick back up. Any pullbacks over here I think are going to be opportunities, which is actually something that I discussed at length last week, and I think we're nearing the end of this corrective phase. And my statement last week was that we're looking for new all-time highs probably within the next 1 to 2 weeks, and so far we're very, very close. If you look at this over here pricing wise, well, we're sitting only about 6% away before Bitcoin does make all-time highs, and this is coming off the 5th and longest correction that we've had within this cycle, having been 137 days, which is in that 5 to 6 month category, taken from all-time high back down to lows. And this has been a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to accumulate. And he actually outlined last week, Monday, exactly 7 days ago, when there was a lot of panic on the weekly candle when prices were coming down. This was exactly what I had to say in this video. You can see over here, of course, from 6 days ago, it was on the 22nd of July, and this was my thoughts on the downward pressure that we were having 2 weeks. I'm more inclined to believe that any pullback that takes place over here is a buy the dip opportunity, and you're more than likely going to expand straight through the lucid SAR, that being the stop and reversal indicator over here, and that's going to shift the momentum aggressively towards the upside. Right now, you have the stochastic RSI. It is trending. So we spoke about the stochastic RSI moving towards the upside. We also spoke about this over here, the 3 inside up candles which were developing on the weekly. And I told you that based on having already 2 that had printed, look more than likely that we're going to have continuation into the next one being the 3rd week. And now you can see a lot of pressure building up over here into the prior all-time highs for Bitcoin, which is an incredibly bullish sign. Grinding up into resistance typically leads to pretty exponential breakouts. Timing wise, we still have our focus between May and October of 2025 for a major cycle top, which means there's still many good days and months ahead of us. But with that being said, it is time to try to find those positions and get as established as possible. If you look at the quarterly chart, the 3-month time frame, it will give you an even more bullish perspective because you can see a very clear SR flip over here from prior major resistance, capping Bitcoin in the 2021 cycle top, and now coming back for multiple tests, right? You've had 6 months worth of candles at this level, successfully flipping that into support, and you're looking for expansion. Remember, a consolidation at a key level usually precedes a massive markup phase or a markdown phase, right? Usually it would be in direction with the trend, which of course is towards the upside over here. And this would also be known as an order block, right? This is forming an order block over here. Order blocks typically lead to big expansive moves in the direction of the trend, which is currently towards the upside. So far, so good. We're coming off extremely low volatility, which means you need to take the next breakout very seriously for what comes next, right? You need to take it seriously. The Bollinger Bands are about to expand prices above the middle Bollinger Band, showing that we just have the ahead of us. But based on the amount of time spent over here, I don't think it will be any problem for Bitcoin to break through. I think it will slice through like a hot knife through butter, and we should see major expansion, which you are already getting over here. If you look at the BBWP and you focus on that little blue line over here, it's already crossing above the 10th percentile mark, which is an early warning sign of what comes next. Now, it's only a warning sign for those of you who are positioned on the wrong side of the trade. This is not a market that you want to be shorting at the moment. Instead, you want to be looking to get max exposure. It's a risk on signal. When the white line, the moving average, confirms and crosses above the 10th percentile mark, you can expect explosive price action. And I really mean this with absolute seriousness, guys. I think this week we could see mega moves within the Bitcoin market and crypto market as a whole. So please do not short the market. You will end up losing a lot of money. If you look over here, of course, we have Bitcoin Nashville 2024 officially complete and finished. We had President Trump at least come on stage and give his thoughts on the market. And you can see it has now a pro-Bitcoin stance. So it says over here, we are witnessing game theory play out in real time as nations and organizations adapt to growing significance of Bitcoin in the global financial system, all of them looking to add Bitcoin onto their balance sheets and to have some sort of reserves in Bitcoin as an additional currency, which is pretty big. Now, the question is this all just talk? Is this just political talk to sway over some votes? Well, you guys can let me know in the comment section below what your guys' thoughts are and what this may mean going forward. I think that it's a great catalyst. It's a great storyline to get the market running into all-time highs. But after that, when the market eventually puts in a blow-off top and we reach the cyclical end of the cycle, which again, according to my analysis, would probably put it somewhere during next year, May to October. At a push, maybe you can get it into November, but somewhere within this period, we're looking for weakness. And then we need to be a little bit more cautious of what the politicians say. But if it meets the narrative and the story for now, so be it. And you're seeing a big shift, right? Many politicians over here, as per Lynn Alden, are now advocating for how big of a Bitcoin reserve they're actually going to build. The real battleground said over here is that in the next several years, it's going to be around privacy, right? Privacy. And if you look at the tweet underneath that, remember, these are a lot of the people that were previously absolute haters of crypto, right? Haters of crypto, and now they're jumping onto the bandwagon. So as for the stock market, we know the stock market has been in the corrective phase, which we spoke about, coming off that TD sequential 9 top, and we're looking for a 1 to 4 candle correction, which we have seen. Now we're looking for expansion and for major support to be found for the stock market, and then continuation from that point as well. And if you look over here at Seth Golden's data set over here, essentially what he suggests is that when you see the S&P 500 cycling with major volatility, right, big whipsaws going from 5% above its 50-day moving average, then down below the 50-day moving average in 6 sessions in a row. Very, very rare signal that you don't often see, but every single time it ever has occurred in history, 6 months forward from now, you expect that the S&P 500 will be higher, right? These are the prior times that we saw that, and usually it just marks a buy the dip opportunity, and you see continuation. So we are expecting at any moment now, we could see the stock markets find major support, and we'll have continuation. We spoke about here on the bottom left chart, right next to my head, the significance as well of Coinbase, which is still putting in higher lows, and looking at this as a great opportunity for those who don't want too much altcoin exposure, but still want to get the potential gains and volatility that altcoins present. Then you buy the picks and the shovels, which is going to be the exchanges, right, like Coinbase. So that's one opportunity. Dow Jones backtesting beautifully into the prior breakout level and holding that as support. So we are looking for a little bit of continuation, and we're still patiently waiting for the breakdown over here of the DXY, that being the dollar index. Now, I would imagine that as Bitcoin breaks into new all-time highs, good chance you do start to see the DXY breaking down, which will give extra pressure onto the bull side, getting prices moving. Not only that, but we actually haven't seen very, very high funding rates for a long period of time. It's been that entire corrective phase, which is about 5 to 6 months. If we bring this over here, pretty much since March over here when we set in the top, that's where the funding rates came down aggressively. Remember, the funding rates heat up as price moves up in these expansive phases. You had a big up move over here. So leverage traders were building huge positions over there. And ultimately, it took about a month for them to get completely flushed out of those positions. And then it took another 4 months to fully reset. Now, my best guess is that you're going to start to see these funding rates pick up again. And now is probably the best time to start to establish those positions, which is exactly what we've done, right? When you look over here at the funding rates on the histogram chart, you can see that they're only just slowly starting to tick up. They've mostly been flat for the entirety of this corrective phase over here, coming off quite high funding over there, similar to what you're seeing on this chart, just a different visual perspective, and then working its way all the way down. And this became the buy the dip opportunity. And it's not too late, right? It's not too late because the funding is still relatively low. But similar to what we saw over here, if you look at the funding rate going negative, positive, negative, and then slowly grinding up until putting in a peak, I expect that we're going to see something very, very similar within this phase over here over the next couple of weeks, where you're going to start picking up, right? So this is as per the YouTube video that I gave over here. If we just go back to that, you can see the lucid SAR that I spoke of over here, where I'm expecting a pullback back into that region, and then major expansion through that phase. There's your visual. You got it exactly like that. The candle turned green and closed green, exactly like I said it was going to. And now we expect further continuation from this point. There will be a little bit of resistance, of course, coming into that 72 to 73K level, but I'll show you based on the momentum that we're moving at, I think it's unlikely or less likely that we have a major stop and reversal from there. Instead, I think maybe a short pause and then expansion, which will go straight through that level. And you can see the upside liquidity over here just waiting to be taken, right, in the form of stop losses over here at the top, and also short limit sell orders, which has got $3.56 billion worth of liquidity sitting at the top side there. If price can just push up into that, that is absolutely ripe for the taking. And that is why we are long, right? We're still long and strong over here. This position that we took last week when that candle was coming down, up almost 15% and just over $7,000. So a really, really nice trade over there. I said also to the Discord community over the course of the weekend that I think it's less likely that we're going to, based on the way the candles are moving into here, I think it's less likely that we're going to have a pullback all the way back down to the range lows, but instead I think we're going to pop through, and that's exactly what we saw over here on Bybit, pushing through that level. So I am currently trading the Cybertruck competition over here on this Bybit account. If any of you do feel the need to join and you want to get yourself a Cybertruck, well, you have 48 days, 5 hours left to compete in this competition. The highest percentage P&L will win. Use the link that's in the description below over here. You open this up over here and you go down, use the link in the description below there it says Bybit, sign up to Bybit, then afterwards come through over here to get the Cybertruck competition going. And also just a reminder, if you don't like a Cybertruck or you already have one, you can also opt for the cash prize, which is the equivalent of what the Cybertruck would cost, right? Just in case you maybe have a Cybertruck or two already in your garage. All right, continuing on over here, this is the buy signal that we got on the hash ribbons indicator, showing that miner profitability was of course picking back up, and they were looking to turn their machines back on, and consequently hash rate moves up, price follows. It's exactly what we spoke of, and this candle over here is where we establish those long positions, right? So moving at quite an aggressive speed over here. You have the downsloping trend line, which provides a little bit of resistance, but again, as mentioned, I think it would most likely just act as a pause in the market, right? You can see over here, you have lows and higher lows and higher lows. And if you do push through over here and you set in a little bit of a top, pullbacks over there, probably just going to lead to another high low, which is then going to be expansion straight through that level. And then before you know it, Bitcoin is already trading back at all-time highs. So as it currently stands, that's my stance on the market, looking really bullish over here. And oftentimes, you know, when you've grinded so many times into resistance over here, and timing wise, you have to think of the psychology of the market going through a corrective phase over here. They don't trust the pumps, right? It pumps over here, comes all the way down, pumps up over here, comes all the way down. They don't trust the pumps. And when you don't trust the pump, that's usually where it pumps straight through with a pretty aggressive move and you get straight expansion. Remember, use the volatility indicator that I've shown you. You can use the average true range. You can look at the Bollinger Bands. Because we're coming off low volatility, your expectation should be that there's a high chance you are going to get a big move. So if you look over here, we also spoke about it last week, suggesting that, you know, the back tests into the 50-day moving average are going to be a buy the dip signal. And sooner or later, within a couple of days, the super guppy indicator is going to give a buy signal to the trend traders turning blue and green. And that's exactly what we got, right? It changed on Sunday based on the Saturday close over here. That was holding up high enough for that to change. You got a little bit of a shakeout candle that also occurred on Saturday, a big push up over here, high leverage traders going into the Nashville conference where Trump was set to come on stage and speak. Of course, it became a quick pump into that, and immediately as soon as he finished, it came back down again. But been absorbed once again over here. So trend traders are going to start to look to get long once again. And if we look at Ethereum on the super guppy, well, slightly lagging Bitcoin over here, but definitely looking like in terms of these moving averages over here, which is your 200 moving average, the white one, like Ethereum is actually putting in a major higher low over here. And you'd probably look for also the same thing, continuation higher. So if we look over here at Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame, as well as Ethereum, We are above all of those different EMAs, the 50 and the 200, trending towards the upside. This becomes the level to clear at 72,000. And we can have a look at Ethereum over here as well. You can see Ethereum still struggling with the EMAs, the 50 and the 200, and just lagging Bitcoin. If we go back to Bitcoin, pretty much Ethereum is trading out this part over here. Ethereum is still somewhere within this phase, whereas Bitcoin has shown strength and already reclaimed. So Ethereum slightly lagging, waiting for ETH to eventually play some sort of a catch-up over here. And we'll keep an eye out on the outflows and inflows due to the Ethereum spot ETF, which is coming out. I'll update you on that on tomorrow's show because, of course, the US markets haven't even opened for trading yet. So we need to wait and see. Now, open interest is increasing, but everything is in unison and alignment over here. I like to keep my eye on this as well on the lower time frames, just to see what's happening. If price does come down slightly, is it because spot is selling, or is it just because there's longs that are taking a little bit of profit? Typically, what you'll see in those types of environments is, price will come down ever so slightly like that. Spot will remain flat, meaning that they're not selling, and it's simply just a flush in the open interest that comes down. Leverage, which is the white line here, also comes down, and then these guys look to re-long, right? They look to re-long, they take profit, and then they start opening up longs again, and then you start to see the open interest increase, the leverage come up, and then the spot goes from flat to back into buying, chasing price up, and then you see prices move higher. So as it currently stands, these are the trades that we took last week, right? We are long and strong over here with some pretty sizable gains, and the beauty is that a lot of these coins are only just getting moving over here. This is, of course, Rune up 33%, Arweave, we up 42%, Brett 22%, and I think this one will really get flying on Brett. I think you'll start to see some big moves over there. TAL pretty much flat. Bitcoin, we are up 56% over there, which is looking good. We are down on one or two that we took ages ago. This wasn't from last week. A little bit of carelessness from my side. I forgot to check this account, and I'd obviously left this, but tiny position over there, down 34%. We have WIF that's up 40% over here. We'll take a look at some of these meme coins as well today, and then we have 𝗕𝗘𝗢 up 10%. And if you haven't already watched it, I did drop a video, which was, you can go through to the Crypto Banter page over here. I dropped a video on Saturday, and if you haven't watched it, I really encourage you to go through to this one over here. There it is. 0 to 100x. So I said this is the only way that you're going to 100x your crypto portfolio in 2024. And I firmly believe that is going to be in the meme coin sector. That's where the biggest opportunities are. So if you do want to go and check that out, go and have a look. We'll have a look at some other coins today. I see you guys in the chat over there. We have Popcat, Miggles. We have all sorts of different meme coins that you guys are shilling. We'll have a look at some of the meme coins. Mumu the Bull, definitely seeing big moves in those meme coins. Guys, also smash the like button. And then for those of you who do want to learn more about trading, remember I do have a free trading course and school, right? It's called Whale School. It starts in 16 days and 8 hours. Sign up now while you still can. As the market expands, right, we can only take limited amounts of people. So before it gets full, all you have to do is put your email address in, sign up. It's completely free. I could have charged easily $4,000 to $5,000 for this, but of course that's my gift back to you guys. So let's have a look. Total 3, is Total 3 increasing? We need it to increase, otherwise it just means that the coins that are pumping become a rotational game where you're moving from one coin to the next coin to the next coin. In order for all the coins to go up and in a sustainable fashion, we need to see Total 3 breaking out, right? So far this is good, but we need to see it break into the yellow box over here, getting into a strong zone, which is going to be the yellow zone over here, meaning we need to see Total 3 break and get above $675 billion market cap. Once it does that, you'll see big moves, right? So all in all, that's one thing we're waiting for. You're seeing big bullish calls, right? Chris Berniski over here, Solana to $1,000 could be conservative, he says. Well, we've been long on Solana for quite a long time. I've told you guys many times before, this is currently my biggest position. Even bigger than what Bitcoin is, believe it or not. And so far, it's looking very good, very bullish. We spoke about the bullish wedge formation over here with, of course, price coming off the lows, big move up, right? Coming back down over here, we started to build some major long positions on this SR flip, and now you're getting a very, very decent move up here. So had you taken that trade, you're already up almost 60%. And once you break and hold above $210, this is actually where you're going to start to see big moves, because you get a measured move based on this over here. This is going to be, of course, your pole, right? And you can take your pole to the breakout level over there, and this takes it easily at least up conservatively to $250, which is a very, very decent size move. So please do keep an eye out on that. That's something to look at. If you look at Ethereum, looking on the weekly time frame to still try and break above. Remember what I showed you on the daily. Ethereum does look like it's putting in a high low on the daily. So pay attention as it does start to take out last week's high. If you get above 3,550, it will look good for continuation on Ethereum all the way back towards the $4,000 mark, right? 3,888, just before that $4,000 mark. So Bitcoin dominance still pushing up over here, still looking very, very strong. We were looking as well at the rebound that occurred on the, let's quickly go to Casper BTC. It was the do or die zone where Casper needed to bounce, and you got the perfect bounce from that zone. So looking phenomenally good over there for continuation. Remember, if you are holding for a swing trade, you want to make sure that your coin is outperforming Bitcoin. Solana is doing the same thing, right? Solana BTC looking super strong there. I know that Solana against ETH is also looking strong, right? Sol ETH should be outperforming. So that means Solana is going up more than Bitcoin, and Solana is going up more than ETH. Now, this becomes the major breakout level, right? Similar to Bitcoin consolidating at the highs, this is in essence the SR flip, right? Support or resistance flip now into support. That's what you're looking at over here. Speaking of in the chats over there, remember, Casper is also one of my biggest positions. Goes Solana first, then Bitcoin, then somewhere between Casper and ETH are tied for third position in terms of position sizing over there. So let's have a look at some of the altcoins. You can drop your altcoin requests over there, and we'll start going through some of those. I do want to remind you as well, let's have a look quickly in terms of the flows over here in Whale So it looks like, okay, Bitcoin's got positive delta, ETH has got positive delta, Solana's got positive delta. But if you look at some of these meme coins, right, if you look at 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓, these are all negative on the delta over there, which means that you could potentially start to see some big moves. Now, I have started dropping some of those meme coins in the DGens call section. That's for the Discord community. That's as per the video that I spoke about over here, where I said I will be dropping meme coins that I'm planning on holding for the entirety of the cycle, coins that I think will do 100x gains. That is dropped in Whale Room. If any of you do want to jump into Whale Room, there is going to be a link that's below over here. You can just go through, enter Whale Room. There it is. Click that link, jump in, join. That is where we do live sessions as well. In a couple of hours time after the show, I'm going to also be doing a live session on Zoom with the Whale Room community. So let's go through a couple of coins over here. Casper USD pushing up. Look at that. Beautiful. That is a perfect long, right? I should have seen this yesterday, but I did miss it. Look at that candle coming back down into major support over there, holding at 18.39. That opens up the long trade. Stops would have gone below Saturday's low, and pretty much you can just hold this for higher prices, looking for expansion, trading at all-time high. Very strong coin over there. We can check out some of the other coins. How's TON looking? So TON is a bit of a tricky one. It's got quite a strange price structure chart over here in the sense that it pushed up, broke the downsloping trend line over here, which means that theoretically you're targeting down to the mid-range or even possibly down towards the range low. So your mid-range is going to be coming in somewhere around here, which is more or less where price is at, and your range lows, of course, all the way down here. Now, it would be better based on this range level if you just use your FIB tool and we mark out the 50% zone. It would be a better look, of course, if TON can start to find major support at this zone right here, and you can start to see higher prices. Then we're looking to gain exposure into some of the TON meme coin ecosystem. And the reason why is because it's a higher beta play than TON, right? If TON is going to pump to new heights and be one of the top 10 coins within the cycle, which I think is very possible, then TON meme coin sectors or meme coins are going to pump even harder. So we're looking for exposure into some of those. That's one thing. Let's have a look at an injective. Okay, still pushing up over here. You got your resistance coming in at 30. Remember, longs were taken from the bottom. It was dropped in Wellroom. I know that Josh was also one of our traders in a long trade over there. Let's see AVAX. How's AVAX looking? Okay, still kind of choppy all around in the middle of nowhere. What other coins are looking good? Remember, we said Tron, love it or hate it, is just pushing up with relative strength against the rest of the market. I think I literally must be the only person in the world talking about this. Nobody else has noticed, but just relentless bidding over here on Tron, right? Tron, that's the same one that all of you use your TRX when you send your transactions across for cheap. When you pay each other, then that's ultimately what you're using is Tron. Okay, let's have a look at some of the real world assets which have previously shown relative strength. Now, we did get a bit of a pullback over here on Mantra. We spoke about it hitting the 1.618 FIB extension, which was right over here in that circled area. We got that price pulled back. Now it's come down into the 0.382 level. Your expectation is in strong trending moves, focus on that 382 level, right? So you're taking your fib from the origin of the move to the top of the move over there, and you expect that at the 382, if it is strong, it's going to continue to hold that. And that's where you'll be looking for continuation and big bounces. All right, that is on Mantra. If we go to Ondo, let's see how Ondo is looking. So Ondo's had a longer term consolidation, but this is a pretty key zone over here. Let's quickly see just how that lines up over there. Is there anything there? Just looking for the most touch points. No, I don't like it. I prefer the horizontal. This is a key zone that I'd want to see hold. If it is playing out this level to level, then of course, you can trade it back to the top side. So you're trading from the bottom to the top over there. That is your levels on Ondo. All right, what else do we have? Looking to the chat over there for some requests. So we have Render. We can look at Render. How's Render doing? All right. Okay, maybe I must go to the new Render. I do have Render over here, but it's still trading at the same. I think that the ticker over here on my chart is still recorded as the same ticker, but it is reading it on the top there as Render token. So it looks the same pretty much, right? This is a pretty key level that it needs to get through. I'm not saying that this can't get back above. If it does get back above that zone, breaks back above 720, that becomes very, very bullish for Render. Then you're looking for higher prices. Let's go to Nia. Nia, here we go. How's Nia looking? Okay, Nia looking good. Backtest into this level over here as support. That's going to be the $5.13 zone over there, holding as support. And then you're looking to trade this back to the top side over here at 880. All right, what else have we got? Rio. Rio is one of the real world assets. So Rio, look, you got the move down over here, but these things take time, right? So it's obviously come down a lot over there. It takes a little bit of time for these to start to develop newfound momentum. You don't have a clean trade set up on this one, at least in my personal opinion. Okay, Neo. Somebody's asking for Neo. I don't know why you want Neo. Neo is a 2017 coin that I'm pretty sure died, but we can have a look at it. Let's have a look at Neo. So, I mean, that's the Neo chart, right? That is Neo. I'm not sure why you would want to trade something like that. But nevertheless, we can have a look at Neo. I would be, if I looked at Neo over here, see, it's not great. I mean, there's nothing great to say over here. If it can get back above pretty much this 1340 to 1350 area, maybe it will start to get a bounce. Okay, Gala. All right, let's go to Gala. How's the gaming sector looking? I'm assuming not good. Usually these things run last. Okay, it did come into the bottom section over here. We had the bullish divergence that played out. Remember, let's just quickly bring that up. We had the bullish divergence over here between the momentum oscillator and price. So we're looking for a little bit of a higher low in the making, and we got that. That is Render, right? Invalidation goes down to 0.01848, right? That's probably where I'd have the tight invalidation on that trade. Let's have a look at some of the meme coins over here to see what's going on. Okay, look at that. Starting to get a big move over here on BOEM, Book of Memes, right? Book of Memes. This is, I think BOEM is on Solana, if I'm not mistaken. Had a long downsloping trend line over here. We can double check quickly what is the market cap of BOEM. All right, how does BOEM look over here? Up 20% already. BOEM, yes, it's on Solana. Just there. So still a pretty new coin, right? 5 or 6 months old over there. And the fully diluted valuation is 706 million. So it hasn't hit $1 billion yet, but that is boom. All right. Okay, Bonk. How's Bonk doing? Okay, still in the long trade on Bonk, almost at final TP over here. But if the rest of the market explodes over here, I would expect that Bonk is also going to move to new all-time highs. We have Brett over here pushing up. Beautiful, beautiful trade over there. Look at that. Obviously, Brett wedging into this formation over here, looking to put in a higher low. And this is what I spoke about last week with Brett, is you need to be careful with some of these meme coins. It's best to just have a bit of exposure because sometimes they just expand like that straight to all-time highs without you even getting a chance. They're unforgiving and aggressive, right? Unforgiving, leaving you behind, and also unforgiving when you hold on for too long. They tend to dump pretty hard. So there's Floki, right? That was pretty much a trade opportunity over there on Floki. I would still continue to hold that as a possibility. Foxy, right, at range lows. This gives you exposure to linear. That's linear chain. It's one of the only ways to get in. What else do we have? Jasmy. Okay, Jasmy holding up, reclaiming the 50% level over there, which is good. Marga in the middle of no man's land. Okay, Mew, big SR flip region, give it a little bit of time. This is what I mean by they can be pretty unforgiving, because to gain your exposure into this, you know, like that's already dropped down 26%. And then either it would do this where it just nukes, or it holds this level and then it just rapidly expands very, very quickly to the top side. So something to watch over there. Okay, Omnom. Pepe. Okay, still, this is an interesting one. I am keeping an eye out on this one for an important SR flip within this region over here, but just waiting on a lower time frame for a bit of a trigger. So far, it's not there. All right, Peng, Pepe, how's Pepe doing? Pepe also kind of a strange chart over here. Let's just see something over here. How does Pepe look? 1 second. I also want to check in terms of a parallel channel how this lines up over here. Nah, it doesn't match. Nothing over there for me yet. I'm just going to be patient on Pepe. This is the most important level for me, is the yellow line that's coming in. Last 4 digits, 9998. That is the SR flip level. I think if Pepe got one more move down into there, I think that becomes a great long. So something like this moves down into the yellow line, holds that level, and then you can see for continuation higher, right? I could already see then you'd have the potential of a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders over here. All right, what else? What else? We got Ponky. So Ponky, I'm also long on Ponky, almost at all-time highs over there. Similar to Pepe's SR flip, this is the SR flip on the yellow line. I think we hit it. That is the SR flip, looking for expansion with the rest of the market. Popcat, similar to Ponky, I opted for Ponky over Popcat because it's got a lower market cap. So I think much more meat on the bone for bigger moves up, right? Okay, Shiba Inu, Slurf, let's see over here, Slurf, Turbo. All right, let's move on. Walsh, Wen. Okay, I do actually have a little bit of Wen exposure. Not much, but I do have a little bit, just some, call it like dust that are converted on my Phantom wallet. But that's the level to flip, right? You want to get back above the pink box over here, flip that into support, and Wen is a cat on Solana. All right, there's the whiff trade. I said theoretically you could go for a massive trade like that. You'd be looking at something like this, hold this level, and then expansion higher. Okay, Wojak. Nah, not much over there. All right, what else have we got? Moo the Bull. You guys want Moo the Bull? We can have a look at that. I know this is one that's also done pretty well. So there it is. Look at that, flying up 50%. I mean, these are big numbers when you're trading at a $239 million market cap. That means you're just adding millions and millions onto this market cap. We spoke about the parallel channel, grinding into the upside resistance, boom, leads to that breakout, and off it goes. I think if you're not long on this already, you probably missed it, right? I would be patient. Let's see quickly the cats, how the cat's doing. Okay, Lemmeow sitting at 12.3. Is it going to load up here? There it is. $12.3 million market cap. Look, it needs a little bit of momentum over here. There's not much momentum in these. Sub 10 million on 𝗕𝗎𝗓. I think this one's not a bad opportunity in terms of if you want to hold it for the rest of the cycle. Then 𝗕𝗎𝗓, which is meant to be Vitalik's cat, one of his cats, that you'd be looking at the SR flip over here, key level to hold. So if you establish a position, it's starting to build it up on the daily, of course, lows, high low, high low, slowly but surely it's grinding up. All right, what else have we got, guys? Please make sure you smash the like button. It really helps to get the show content out there. Do me a massive favor, smash the like button over there. Let's quickly have a look and see in terms of like 758. Please smash the like button, guys. It does help tremendously to get the show content out there. And then what else? What else have we got? What else can I do for you guys today? All right. DGen. We can look at DGen. DGen is now meant to be the, call it a layer 3. It's essentially a layer 2 that's built on base chain, which is also a layer 2 built on ETH. So that's why we just label this a layer 3. This thing has been absolutely obliterated. I do think I hold a small position on this as well, which I was going to hold for the entirety of the cycle. But anywhere around here, for DGen, that is pretty much your key levels. You can see over here, I'll zoom in now to show you exactly how I got these. There we go. So coming back down to that order block over here, SR flip over there. Maybe you get one more sweep down. I can't tell you for certain, but that would be the level. This is a pretty good value zone on DGen. All right. Based AI. Yes, we can have a look at Based AI. I haven't looked at that for quite some time. Based AI. Let's see. It should be this one. Here we go. Let's go. Let's have a look at Based AI. $129 million market cap. And how is it looking? And then we'll quickly look at some of those trades that I took over there, like the Rune and things like that. Okay, key level over here, definitely a key level. I'd want to see this zone hold over here. So you don't really want to see it drop any lower than this. If the rest of the market's going to get moving, then same thing, you view that as a pretty good value zone to establish a position. So let's quickly check on Rune, for example. Here's Rune. Okay, nice, beautiful. Look at that trade. Almost no drawdown on this trade. Starting to get straight expansion from this point onwards. A little bit of resistance that you're going to find at $5.51 and thereafter at $7.20. So, guys, remember, if you do want to join into Whale Room, the link is below. For the rest of you, if you're looking for a free course, Whale School is also listed over there. That's it from me. I'm going to see all of you later on the Zoom session. I think it's about 4 hours from now. So have a great day and cheers for now.